You see myself? Oh, it looks like I am good. Hello, Roseanne. Welcome. Okay, so again, hopefully I won't have any issues. If I do, I will come back on maybe after the storm ends. But of course, it just started pouring and I hear the thunder rolling and rumbling. So thanks for joining. Today I am going to do a fun craft. I haven't done it in a while and I think you guys going to enjoy the technique. But come back at the end and I'm going to show you how I can get all of these in a single stamp and a single punch. All of these sentiments. All right, so I am just going to set them in my little storage and we're going to get started. So tonight's technique is going to be with an acrylic block and ink. That's what we're going to do. So other items you'll need for this technique is a spritzer water brush and your inks. Let me just show you a couple of the samples of the cards that we're going to be making. So here is one card that we're going to make. And then I'm making two cards, but I'm going to just talk a little bit through how I did that. And then here is the second card. Okay, so this again is using the Notes and Totes. And then this is the Set Sailing, I think as it's called. Sunrise Sailing. Sunrise Sailing. So that's what we're going to make. Changing it up just a little bit, but let's talk about inking with your block. So all you need is acrylic block. This is a 2x2. You can do a variety of sizes and get a variety of options and samples. I actually die cut the one with the sailboat on it. So I just have some samples here to show you what I did. And what color should I practice with? I'm going to do a different color. I'm going to go with Berry Burst. This is not a color that we're going to be using tonight, but I like Berry Burst. So you can stamp or ink directly. So basically, I am just going to ink up that. And one way to do it is just go directly from here onto your cardstock. You could use watercolor cardstock. I'm actually just using the regular white willow. And that is how it looks. I like the texture in it, but it's got a defined line on that. So let me just, you'll also, doing this technique, you're going to want to have a paper towel close by to clear things up. Hey Amanda, hello Brianna, hey Lisa. Okay, so I cleaned that up, set that aside. So the next option we can do is take this, again, all nice inked up, but now I'm going to take my spritzer and just gonna give it a good go straight down, and actually put a little bit too water on there. Usually after I water it, I go straight down to my cardstock, but this is fine because this is just practice anyways. But I love that. I love the variety of the different colors and the different depths of color in here. I also like, you can see, if I said this is a defined line, I like that this came out and does not give a crisp line, okay? So those are two samples there. Now I'm going to get into the samples doing two colors. So I'm going to put this away and we're going to get our inks out. And make sure that my fingers have no ink on them. And we will get started. I am gonna do this one first. You guys can see that. So if you are new here and want to follow me on YouTube, all of these videos are live here, and then I transfer them over to YouTube. I will be going to YouTube directly on a few things too, so I always want to keep track of that. And my YouTube is Create and Craft with Annemarie. All right, so the colors here I'm using, I have to do this one because this is wet. We're gonna have to wait for this, what I'm gonna show you, to dry. So I've prepped this one. And the colors that I am using for this is Balmy Blue and Crumb Cake. And then these are the pieces from the Notes and Totes. So the Notes and Totes, the stamp set is here, but then it has a ton of different dies. And you'll be seeing a post on this page just to show you how much. Look at all of the different things. I've been spending a lot of time because this is highlighting my cookie and card class that I am hosting tomorrow. All right, so to get this, we're gonna open up the crumb cake. Give me a hard time. And the Balmy Blue. And now I want to split the color on here. So I'm taking, let's see here, I want to make sure that you guys can see me. So I am just gonna dip this in half of the Balmy Blue and then half of the crumb cake. So we got a good coloring there. You can see that color. I'm gonna mist it. And just go, oh, I wanna go this way. Straight down. And it might be off a little bit. I'm not totally centered. I'm holding this on just so it absorbs into the paper. And look at that, I love it. Again, all of the ink, because of sitting it there and holding, I don't have excess drops. If you do have excess there, you can take a tissue, wipe it off. But I was lucky and I didn't have too much. But isn't that gorgeous? I love those two colors, definitely beach colors. All right, so let me wipe this block off. Again, this has to dry, so I am gonna use this one and just set the side. This really only takes a few minutes to dry, but I don't want to have you sitting here waiting for that. So again, just a fun way to add color with your blocks, and I'm gonna show you plenty of other ideas that I have been searching for this week, really. So I'm adding this. So this is at 3 3/4 by 5. And I just created this as 1/8 of an inch larger, if you like this template. And so just think of all of the different colors and the possibilities that you can do. I was playing around with the Darling Duckling and the Timid Tiger, which is the two new colors. I was playing around with those today. Actually, I think I'm going to show you I'm going to actually show you two of them in a different way of how to create a block without inks. So if you don't have any inks, that's totally fine because I'm going to show you a different way. All right, so let's get some sentiments on here. And what sentiments do I want to use? I use the sentiments from the Notes and Totes. So my original one, I did Sending Warm Wishes. I'm going to say just a note on this one. put it on that block that we were using. Pull out my Memento ink. And I have not used the stamp set, so it's acrylic, just like I did with the Close to My Heart. I take that excess ink off, just rubbing it against my palm or my arm. And I'm going to stamp that down here, just a note. There we go. And I have my chamois off to the side. And now let's just add some of these fun elements to the note and tote. Again, if you're not aware, our new catalog finally released on Tuesday, May 6th. So we are up all items. In addition to the catalog, there's online exclusives. So I believe these might be part of the online exclusives. So I'm just gonna add these little elements there, and my dimensions, I'm just gonna put them in the center. So in addition to some scrapbooking workshops, we have all of the two-tone cardstock, all of the colors available in two-tone cardstock. So much available. So check it out. I posted the digital catalog along with the PDF. And I also, I think, posted images of the items that are on the online exclusive. All right, so we have pretty much our base here. One thing I'm just going to change it up because I want to change it up a little bit. So on my card base, I have my card base here scored. I'm just doing a white one. And this is how I have it. And you can see I have that popped up on foam. But here, I'm going to add the blue. So this is crumb cake around it. And then I'm just going to add another layer because I love layering. And just adding it here. So again, this is 1/8 of an inch. So the white was 3 3/4 by 5. Again, this is 1/8 of an inch bigger. And then this is at 4 by 5 1/4, the Balmy blue. So I am going to put this down on my base. Thanks, Julie. Hi, Annemarie. Hello, Debbie. Okay, Mary's here too. Hello, Mary. All right, and then I am going to just pop this up with some larger foam tape and just give it that additional dimension. And for some reason, I feel like I have to do these sides too. Okay, so let me take all of these little pieces off of here. So you have to let me know, do you like it with the blue background or without the blue background? Just curious. So again, just adding that. Again, that's making it 1/8 of an inch larger than the two-tone. So here's without and here is with, adding those dimensions. Okay, so now we're going to get to the second card. But before I do that, I wanted to show you one more technique. I'm going to put these colors away because we're not going to be using these colors. We're going to use 2 other colors. But if you don't have inks, I've mentioned to you, there is another option, and these are our Stampin' Write markers. So these are for the 2025-2027, all the new in colors. So that is, what are the new in colors again? So we have Timid Tiger, Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, Strawberry Slush, and Sea, help me, I know somebody's watching, Sea Glass or something. Oh, I actually have it right here. I have it right here. Secret Sea. I knew it was something sea. Okay. So But so we have these in all of our colors, but I'm going to just take the two colors and let me take this stamp off of here. And because I had a stamp on here, I just want to make sure that my block is clear. I don't have any fingerprints or anything on there. So I'm just going to clean that block up. But you can do these with your markers. So I am taking, this is the Timid Tiger. And I am, can you hear that squeakiness? I'm just taking the marker and coloring the block. You're going to want to use watercolor based markers for this. And then here is Cloud Cover. Here, okay. Squeak, squeak, squeak. That's all I hear. Okay. So I'm not sure if I have this covered all the way, but when I spritz it, that's going to help it. So again, I'm taking my spritzer. And I'm just going to turn this over. And that cloud cover seems really, really light, but you can see some of that color coming in right here. Voila. So again, as you can see the puddle there, but it absorbed pretty quickly into the paper. But sometimes if you have excess, you can just wipe that off. But let me just bring that up close so you guys can see how fun that is. And definitely the watercolor tones, right? Love it. Okay, so again, that is another option for you to use if you don't have inks to try this technique, because you know that's what your creative session is going to be. So now we are going to do this card here. And again, I have prepped this already, but I'm gonna just create it because then I get extra cards to play around with. And again, like the other card, I'm actually gonna add the Timid Tiger cardstock behind it. So let me know if you like that additional color or not. But I do have that black as our base for here. Just get these out of the way. All right. So the colors that I chose for this one are, again, the Timid Tiger. And then this is the Daffodil Delight. Okay, so again, I have my acrylic block. Now, I'm using an acrylic block that has a line here. So you don't want to use that side of the line. So I'm going to be using this side to do mine, just in case you have some other blocks. Just make sure you don't have any lines in there. So again, I'm taking half of it with the Timid Tiger and then half with the Daffodil Delight. This out of the way. I am going to spritz. Yep. Where is it spritzing from? Oh, there it is. All right, turn it over. All right, and there we have that. Okay, so let me clean this off. Again, this is going to dry, so what I'm going to do to finish this card is take this one. And you can see every one is different. It just depends on how much water you put on, how, you know, if I was truly even with the colors on the block. But again, I'm going to put that aside. And what I am using here is I'm going to take this stylish shape dies. I am going to take this middle, I think this is the right size I use. Nope, I need the bigger size. All right, so let me bring up my die cutting machine and we're gonna die cut that. Let me close these ink pads just to get them out of the way and I don't get in trouble with that. Okay. So this is very tight. I probably could have used a little bigger block for this. So I am just gonna come down here and I'm not worried about that because my sailboat, oh, wait a second, let me think about this. Where is my sailboat? All right. All right, let me run this through. I'm pulling off this tape very, very gently. All right, so this I did it a little bit too short, but that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna see. I know this one, I know it's a little bit wet, but we're gonna go with it because I know that's bigger. And that's only because I had so much water on it, so it spread more. So let's do that one. I will definitely use this though for something else. Yeah, I did. You can see some of the markings from, because it's still wet, but we're going with it. It is it. That's what happens when you do it live. Okay. I think you definitely get the gist of what we're doing here. So I should have some other pieces here. Yep. Here are some other samples of colors that I did, right? Just playing around with it. All right, so here is my little sailboat. This is again from the Sunrise Sailing. Now, just gonna put this together. Easy alignment, just goes right up against. All right, so we're gonna do this here. And our boat will get popped up here. But, you know, I'm going to try to see if I can get this black, because again, this is still damp. The Memento. All right, so one of those birds there. There, and that's going to help me know where to line that up. And one off. All right, let me put some adhesive on here. And that's where I'm lining it up. And we're going to pop this little sailboat up. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to do the sentiment. So the sentiment that I want is from one of our new sentiments, the sentimental framing. So this has dies, but the dies are rectangles with nice stitching and stuff in there. So, but I did the original one, I'm So Grateful, but this one I think I'm going to do Thinking of You. I just love having all of the different types of sentiments. I'm going to have to grab a larger block, but one is right here, so. I'm so glad that it stopped thundering. It went by a lot faster than I thought it would. Okay, so again, taking off those excess oils. All right, this is Thinking of You. It's gonna go right down here, nice and big. Perfect. All right, clean that off. So that's nice and clean. All right, so now we're just gonna mat it. And again, I took black cardstock that is 1/8 of an inch. So again, this is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, and now, again, I don't have the color on here, but I'm gonna bring it in on this card here. So let's add foam tape to this. Actually, I want my larger, where are my larger ones? All right, so don't forget to participate in last week's creative session, which, I'm gonna put those, I've gotta put 2 here. So, which was a scrapbook layout template, or you can take that template and make a card using the left side, scaling it down. So try to do that. I think I only have 2 people prior to this that have participated. So, and you have a chance to win some Happy Mail. So I might have to start re-evaluating if I'm not getting the participation. I'll continue to do my creative live sessions. Don't worry about that. But if I'm not going to get the participation, I'll have to come up with another way to get you guys engaged. All right, so I am just... All right. So there it is with the splash of color. Let's add some. All right, so there we have it. So this was my original sample that I showed you. This is the one that we've just created. And this is a little bit short, but we will get that. And then the other 2 cards that we created are this is what my original one, and then here is just a note. So again, simple but fun technique, and it adds a splash of color to it. So I promised you I wanted to show you one more thing before we left, and this is one of my new favorite sentiments. All right, so this is one of the new products. I'm getting some new products in. As I get more products, I want to show you guys them, because I don't know that you would pick up on seeing this in the catalog. This is a cling stamp, but this is a very simple, easy cling stamp because it's actually one piece. So it is just one. So you see all of these sentiments here, right? And that's all fits on a nice size large block. All right, and have this paper here, and then I'm just going to take, you know what? I already created them in black. What other color? Let's do Night of Navy. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way. Okay, so again, with acrylic block, it's something this big. I am just going to take my ink make sure that I have it covered. And now I'm going to stamp it here. Straight down. I do have the sponge behind me, so this should cover well. All right, oh, I got a little bit, but that's okay. Now, what's the magic here is that there is a coordinating die. All right, so this die lays, oh, I missed that. This die lays right here, and I'm going to bring up my die cutting machine again. Again, I don't want this to move around, so I will tape this down. But how cool is that? So a great way to have a bunch of sentiments all ready for you to use. All you have to do is figure out what color you want that sentiment in, right? Yep. My paper keeps on turning. Hold on. I'm going to change this around. Pull it out. Why do you want to keep on moving? There we go. And again, I did not have a big enough paper or stamp this, but you can see all of, so I've got hello here. Thanks a lot. Hooray, lots of love. You're simply incredible. Always for you. Again, these got cut off because the paper wasn't long enough. Good luck. Happy birthday. I adore you. Miss you. Congratulations. Way to go. Lots of love. Hi there. Look at all of these sentiments. Amazing. Super easy and all done with one quick stamp. So again, I hope you guys like seeing that. I was excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. So, all right. So that's it. Thank you guys. If you guys are watching this after the fact, if you're watching this on YouTube, come and join my Facebook customer group, Scrap and Roll. Or be sure to subscribe to me at Create and Craft with Annemarie on YouTube. Let's bring these cards back in. All right, these are the ones that we just made tonight. So thank you guys so very much. Have a great week. Next week, there'll be a creative activity, but not a creative live because I will be off celebrating my achievements at the incentive trip in Disney. So have a great week. Have a great weekend. Bye for now. Thanks so much for joining.